I'm Kathryn Nash.
Hello, I'm Tom Ford.
And here we are on audition day, which is day 2 of our video series for the Audition Theatre.
It's the day of the audition. Now, we spoke yesterday about planning your route, so we're hopeful that you've got to your audition nice and early, so you're not stressed about anything.
Right.
And now, the first thing to do, once you get into the space, the waiting room, as they call it, it's like being at the doctor's.
Yes.
It's probably the only time people call me Thomas as well. It's either the doctor's
or me. I call him Thomas.
Or the waiting room for an audition. But anyway, get into the audition waiting room and then get into the right headspace, whatever that might be.
Depends on the wait. So if you know you have an appointment and you're going to be there for 5 minutes and go right in, I don't think that you need to do too much or take too much of your time distracting yourself. But something that I like to do when I'm waiting for a long audition is I bring knitting with me. I always knit half a scarf at an audition call.
That's very impressive.
I never finish it, and then I undo it, and then I do it for the next audition.
That's very impressive.
But just if you're there for a long time, you know?
I usually take a book, just so it kind of like changes what I'm thinking about, but I am quite bad at sitting there and going over the lines over and over and over in my head.
Well, I think which is fine if you're there for about 5 minutes, but if you're there for 10 hours, we're talking about not stressing, and I think that can build it up, build it up, build it up if you're just running your lines for 10 hours, or if you're just scrolling on your phone. So you kind of want to have an extra little activity to do in case both of those things become too much. And
of course, we're coming from an actor-singer point of view, but if you're going to an audition and you might have to dance, make sure you're wearing, obviously, appropriate clothing and do a little warm-up so you're not completely cold when you go in the room.
We want to talk about that entrance into the audition room.
Oh, look at that entrance.
Hi, Maggie.
Come here. Talking of entrances, here's Maggie.
It's our friend's pup, Maggie. She says hello. Your entrance into the room. Usually a casting director is going to make the decision about if they want to cast you in the role within 3 seconds of you entering the room. The best thing to do is to make that entrance as easy and smooth as possible.
Because you may enter the door and look kind of nervous, you might look disheveled because you've been stressed and you've only just got there. So enter the room with confidence, but not too much confidence. It's that fine line.
The vibrato.
Yeah, you just want to be like, you're assured you know who you are, but you don't want to look like you love yourself either. The thing is with auditions, you could rock and do the best audition you've ever done, but if you enter the room poorly and you just don't make a good first impression, they're not even listening when you do sing.
We're going to give you some 2 examples, and they might go a little like this. A good version of this is gonna go like this.
Hi.
So the next thing that's going to come up if you're in a musical theater audition or just a musical or an opera is going to be your interaction with the pianist. But there are a couple of different rules of thought. My opinion when you interact with the pianist is you're going to have to give the tempo of the song. Some people have suggested to me as a pianist that they don't want things to be snapping in their face. They don't want a clapping in their face. They don't want any abrupt. And sometimes the patting of a foot can be too far away. So you can't even hear me patting my foot right now. So what I would say is to do a light little tap on your chest to give them a beat. So say, this is this song from this musical, and it's gonna go, and here I'm singing the song. So just a light little polite tap on your chest is going to be all that your pianist needs. And a bad version of this is gonna go like this.
Hi.
Oh, hello.
Okay, so you can just start, you could start there, or like there, that's fine too.
What? Okay.
So just a bell tone at the beginning, I guess. And
Right.
then tempos around here.
Oof, okay, I think I got that. Great.
Yeah?
Yeah, so just to remind me from...
Right there is fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
And, okay, great.
And a good version of this is gonna go like this.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank
Great.
you. I'm just going to start at the beginning of this cut. The intro will intro me in, so I don't need a bell tone. And then
Okay.
I'll go right to the end of the cut as well.
Okay, great.
And then tempo's going to be like right around there. Yeah.
Great. All right. Thank you very much. I'm ready when you are. But don't apologize for feeling unwell. You should never start an audition with a negative. You don't want the casting director's first thought of you to be a negative one.
Oh, wait a second. Sorry, before I start, I've been really sick, and so I've got like a lot of phlegm going on. So if notes don't come out quite right,
that's okay.
It's for that reason.
You'll be fine.
I'm sure you're going to be
You'll
great.
be great.
Yeah.
You'll be great.
You can start.
Good version of this is going to go like this.
Okay, take it away. Eye contact. Sometimes when you go into a room and there might be 2 or 3 people in an audition panel, there may be 10, maybe 11, who knows? So you can't really look at all those people in the eye, and they're also going to be taking a ton of notes probably. So if you're really looking at someone in the eye and they put their head down and write notes, it can be distracting for you. So just keep an eye line just above their heads as if you're playing out towards an audience.
That doesn't mean to say that some casting directors in a workshop somewhere aren't going to tell you that I want to have eye contact. I want you to look at me when you're singing. I would just say most of the time they're going to want the eye contact above. But that isn't to say 100% of the time. So if you get a request to say, go ahead and sing it at me, go ahead and be ready to make that change.
And that is the same when it comes to reading a script with someone, because you may be doing a duologue scene with someone. Kind of look up, but then if you're having a conversation with that person, I preferably would always look at the person that I'm doing the scene with, even though a note here, the casting directors will give you nothing when they're giving you readings. They will often just say the lines very monotone, as you can see here.
How bad is it, Mary?
It's pretty bad.
How bad is pretty bad?
They said being under 40 might help, but...
Mary, how bad is pretty bad?
So don't let that put you off when a casting director or director, whoever is reading on the panel with you, because it's not about them. It's not about their performance. So they're just going to say the lines as they're reading them on the page. They probably will give you no acting beats whatsoever. So it's up to you to take what they don't give you and make it golden.
How bad is it, Mary?
It's pretty bad.
How bad is pretty bad?
They said being under 40 might help, but...
Mary, how bad is pretty bad?
I'm not sure I want to talk about it right away.
So once you've read the monologue or you've sung a song, if they like you, they will often give you some direction. That might happen there and then, or you may be recalled or have a callback to go to another audition where they may actually try and direct you. The director will want to work with you. So if you've been practicing that song in your book, or you've been practicing this monologue and you've practiced that scene, be willing to change. I've had countless jobs where, and the director has told me afterwards, that it's because I did such a good job of taking direction that I got the job. The first song got me in, and then the direction got me the job.
So be ready. If they're asking you to do something or to take a note, that's not because you gave a bad performance. That's because they're really interested in you and they're hoping to cast you in the show most of the time, I'll say. The casting director might just want to see what you're capable of. I remember in an audition that I was given a note to perform a particular way, but I knew that that was not the way that the character was going to actually be performed in the show. The particular note was to sing this really, really joyful song without smiling. But what the director was doing was to see if, giving a really over-exaggerated note to see if I could take direction. So that's just to see what you're capable of as an actor, so be willing to make changes on the spot. Thank you.
Thank you. Play it right next time.
Thanks. And a good version of this is gonna go like this. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
Thank you.
Oh, we hope you enjoyed these little tips and tricks for the audition. Thank you to Tess Carr for being our stand-in and doing a wonderful job of showing the good and the bad when it comes to audition technique.
And when Tess leaves the room, as you can see, she left it with a positive light. She left it with positivity, even if it didn't go her way, or if she felt like she might not have given the best audition. Don't leave the room looking defeated.
We'll see you tomorrow.
See you then!